Okay, so let's take a few steps back. What would it take to make our institutions like the Electoral Commission, like the judiciary, stronger?
Let me take the Electoral Commission, which is on the face. Let me tell you, we have progressed in our electoral process that whoever is in the seat, even if you make Mahama or Akufo-Addo the Electoral Commissioner, nobody could have changed the landslide victory. And the same way in 2016, I mean, there was this lady there, and Mahama lost.
It was the elections, yeah.
To me, it gives me confidence that actually the commission, not the individual at the head, has progressed to the extent that the margin for whoever is in power to win by default is now, thank God, very, very slow, little. And therefore, for example, I would therefore not change an electoral commissioner because he's not on, quote unquote, not on my side, because the process will not allow any shady deal. There will be margins like this 12 out of 276, which is being disputed. We have come a long way, and I think that we should give, when it comes to the judiciary, actually I've served on the Judicial Council before, and I resigned because of some conscience issue on one case, which if you ask me, I won't tell you because, but we have one of the best judicial systems on this continent. And I think that instead of undermining the system there, it just happened that Akufo-Addo, in his time, so many of them reached the age of 70. And it happens in America, so that if the Republicans are there, you find, and I would say, as a former member of the Judicial Council, we need more Supreme Court judges.
In the country?
Yes.
We don't have enough?
No, we can go to 20. And I'm glad that for some reason, Akufo-Addo did not, the 5 didn't go through the one he wanted to add because you have had enough appointments. Leave it for somebody else to come. And I would like to go to 20. The reason is very simple. Unlike other countries, our Supreme Court is the final appeal for every case. So therefore, the paneling is quite a lot. In other words, if you and your husband fight at home and you don't like it and you take it to court, you can appeal all the way to Supreme Court. In other countries, that is not allowed. Say marital issues ends at this level, period. This ends at district court level. So there are only exceptional things that go to the Supreme Court, constitutional things, reference from, say, the National House of Chiefs, and a few others. Our Constitution has made it necessary to have more Supreme Court justices because every Ghanaian, when he goes to court and is not satisfied, has the right to appeal all the way to the Supreme Court. And unfortunately, that is an entrenched, I think it's an entrenched position, so you cannot change it. That doesn't mean that you can have ad infinitum. I think that there must be a limit. But I wouldn't think that having 20, because of that, other than that, we will still have so much backlog of cases. And I think that Mahama must consider adding about 5. So that
he should make some appointments.
I think that he should make some appointments. We need about 20 Supreme Court. And I'm talking from my experience as a member of the Judicial Council in the past.
Indeed. So, Prof, I'll come back to the point of the appointments.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, let's take a few steps back. So I take it as you don't support calls for President-elect John Dramani Mahama to remove the Chief Justice and the Electoral Commissioner, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
First of all, it will be disastrous, especially initially in his term. He will be consolidating a very bad practice which will not augur well for Ghana's future, whereby every president basically appoints a new electoral commissioner. Hopefully, if what has gone on, Jean may decide to resign herself. Then that is, we must find a way of not destroying our institutions, but how do we make it better? But as for the Supreme Court Chief Justice, I think, from my personal point of view, if they touch the Chief Justice by political removal, and not because he has done something that requires impeachment and goes through an impeachment process, I and you will pay a heavy price for it. Not because of her, but because of the undermining of the system.
Right. I mean, the arguments for those who would want to see both of them out will be that they do not work well with the president-elect or the party in office. Does that matter?
The question is this. The Chief Justice must not work well with Akufo-Addo or Mahama. He must be seen to uphold the law. And therefore, if she is not upholding the law, then you go through the justification, the impeachment, and everything else. So, but you cannot use a political motivation and decision to remove a Chief Justice. God forbid if you do that. When it comes to the Electoral Commission, once again, there are certain processes. If you can prove that he has gone against a certain fundamental things, for example, some say that incompetence, you will be find very difficult to prove incompetence. It's easier to prove corruption, but incompetence is very difficult. So what I'm saying is this: the Electoral Commission, I would like that if he has done wrong, prove it, remove it. But if you do so because he was appointed by NPP, without showing that in the discharge of her duties, she's done wrong. I mean, for example, I would have fought against Comfort Osei, that Charlotte, yes. Charlotte Osei, if he was removed because he was appointed by Mahama, some of us would have gone to everything. But the case was an issue, quote unquote, of corruption or procurement practice. Nobody can defend her on that. So she wasn't removed on the basis of her job.
Because of that.
Yeah. So we must find a way of dealing with lapses without destroying our institutions.